Lovely everyone. I'm Tony Williamson. I'm head of what we're now calling Rural Fairness in DEFRA. My job is to work across government to try and get all parts of government to understand their rural responsibilities. It's not really DEFRA's job to address all of the different rural dimensions of government policy. It's the lead department's job. But our goal is to help them to understand those responsibilities, understand the rural issues that they're responsible for, and try to improve their the way they address it. I was lucky enough to come up to the Eden Valley back in September and see the initial stages of all of this work, and I met several of you then. I found the visit I came up when I came up very inspirational, very interesting, and sent me back with quite a lot of ideas. And I've worked closely with Anton since to try and put him in touch with various people across the people you're seeing here on stage, many of them, and others across Whitehall who can help. And that's really the role I'm going to continue to do in the future. I imagine I'll be sort of wandering around the various tables this afternoon rather than sitting at any one of them, because my interest stretches right away across all of the issues. Our interest really in this Big Society Vanguard is firstly because it's a rural vanguard, and therefore it's picking up all of the issues that we want to identify and to address about the big society in rural areas. Secondly, of course, this is an upland area, and that's an issue that's very important for DEFRA, and an issue that we want to pursue. So I think I've got a general interest, and of course I'm very happy to talk to anyone about anything, although contrary to what Rory says, I'm not an expert on agriculture. You're very welcome to talk to me about it. I understand I'm very happy to take any messages back, obviously. One little thing, if I can find it, that I did want to just touch upon, that when I came up last time, in this very room and also over in Livening, a very small, or a big issue to you, but a marginal issue to the rest of the Big Society Vanguard was mentioned. In both places, people actually said in passing about their fears about being sued for clearing snow from outside of their properties. And I took the message back and contacted the relevant Whitehall department. I thought it would be the Ministry of Justice, given that it's a legal issue. Anyway, they said to me that I should, it's a very interesting point, I should just hold my horses for a week or two, because something very interesting might come out. And what was very interesting did come out was that shortly after that, Lord Young produced his report, Common Sense, Common Safety, for the Prime Minister, which followed a Whitehall-wide review of the operation of health and safety laws. And in that, on page 24, he says, one of the great misconceptions often perpetuated by the media is that we can be liable for the consequences of any voluntary acts on our part. Through the winter of 2009-10, advice was given on television and radio to householders not to clear snow in front of their properties in case any passerby would fall and then sue. This is another manifestation of the fear of litigation. In fact, there is no liability in the normal way, and the Lord Chief Justice himself is reported as saying that he's never come across a case where someone was sued in these circumstances. Hopefully that's a bit of reassurance. I can't claim that we pushed Lord Young into conclusion. But it's very helpful, very, very good news. What he does say here is that if just simply having that in a report doesn't do the trick, people are still worried about it, then the government may may introduce legislation to make it clear that voluntary acts on people's part are not don't attract liability in the normal course of events. He does go on to say there is no liability in case negligence is proved. And I think that's just a salutary reminder that if you clear snow with some salt and a shovel outside your house, then it's fine. If you take your hose out there and try and clear it that way and create a skating rink, then you've probably still got a legal problem to do.
Hello, everybody. My name's Karen Britton. I'm from DEFRA, Rural Policy Division. I work with Tony in promoting rural fairness. I'm the rural broadband lead within DEFRA, and basically what that involves is acting as the rural champion to make sure that rural communities such as yourselves get a good deal from broadband. It's been a long time coming. So I work with business innovation and skills that lead on the development and implementation of rural broadband policy, and Broadband Delivery UK, which is the organisation that has been set up to roll out broadband across the country. And two colleagues from Broadband Delivery UK will be here in about an hour's time to take some of your questions. I know broadband is really important to all of you. It's important to us in government, and it's important that we get it to you. Broadband is a key priority for government. Rural broadband is a key priority for government. We've got £530 million to roll out broadband into the hard-to-reach areas. And you're probably aware that recently there was an announcement that there will be 4 rural broadband superfast pilots, one of which I was thrilled to hear at the time. It is in Cumbria. The aim of these pilots is to identify the commercial costs and the challenges in rolling out broadband right across the country. The government has a commitment that we will have the best superfast broadband in Europe by 2015. So Cumbria is right up there at the head of the game, helping us to achieve that aim. As I say, the aim of the pilot is to identify the challenges, but also how communities can be involved in the process, so that we can understand and use your enthusiasm, your local knowledge, expertise, and so on and so forth, in order to get the best broadband possible. So I'm here today so that we can demonstrate back in Whitehall that communities have a really, really big part to play in the broadband agenda and in achieving that overall aim of getting the best broadband in Europe in 2015. So I'm really thrilled to be here. Really look forward to hearing your concerns and your positive remarks later on. And as I say, I'm joined by 2 of my colleagues later, so I look forward to hearing more from you. I will be at the event tomorrow as well, for those of you that will be going to that. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Hugh Rurlow. I feel I ought to say I'm not from government. I work for the Development Trust Association, a national network of independent community enterprises. There are 500 plus across the country. I'm based in Bradford. I have a national role. My colleague Jackie McQueen, Jackie Wade, is here. She lives just down the road. The Development Trust Association is a network of networks, if you like. So there are local networks and national networks. We believe in local development trusts that join up services, and we think that they need to stay around for a long time. So we promoted the concept of assets and enterprise. Assets, getting hold of buildings and managing those, and enterprise, clearly earning your money in order to stay around. I'm here today to talk about finance. I have a dark past in the City of London. I've been saying this for many years. I've been working in the third sector for many years. I think people now understand what I mean by that dark past. So I do know about how to bamboozle people of the money. But fundamentally, I think there are only 3 kinds of money. There's risk money to get stuff started. There's capital money to buy stuff that you need to do things, and there's working capital to keep things ticking over. I'll be based at the back of the room and happy to talk to you about how you can get hold of all those 3 kinds of money. Thanks.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matthew Crump from the Environment Agency. I'm not from Whitehall. I live in Penrith. I work in Penrith at the Big Pink Palace on the we were when we met Rory some time ago. He asked us to come along. One of the specific issues was around hydropower and what kind of advice we could give. I guess we can give some specific advice about that, but obviously as an organisation, many of you will have come into contact with us through a whole range of other either regulatory or advisory roles, and I guess we're here today, I'm here with a colleague Steve, to kind of give any advice that we can in terms of some of the stuff that you might want to do in communities and the impact that that might have in terms of the environment and where we might be able to help you in terms of advice and looking at some of the regulatory requirements around that.
Hi there, I'm Ollie Henman. I've come from the Big Society Network, which is an independent organisation that was set up just in the last few months to try and give some practical reality into the vision of the Big Society. It was originally set up by Lord Way, Nat Way, and is now independently run. The Chief Executive, Paul Twivy, who also ran the Big Lunch that many of you may know. My background is very much voluntary sector. I previously worked also with the Participatory Budget Unit, and that's why I'm here today. Participatory budgeting is something that Big Society Network sees as a tool, a very practical tool to actually deliver on how people can relate more easily to the state, how they can break down those barriers, particularly with local budget decision making. So we have a program which is called Your Local Budget, and we're working with a number of different local authorities around the country. We look forward to being able to work also with Cumbria and with Eden Valley, and looking at how local authorities can actually free up their budgets to direct deliberation by citizens, so people can actually come on board and prioritise the funds themselves, and this can actually reduce overheads, this can increase efficiency of the budget allocation. It could also act as a springboard for innovation around local organisations taking on some of those services from local authorities. So look forward to talking to you, and I know that there's been talk around cycleways and